You're so right. You're so right.
So you are now reacting to the solo artist IU and her pre-release single Love Wins All, which is her first song released in 3 years since her last album released in 2021. NME writes, "Love can feel hard to come by in our modern world, with headlines and news bulletins filled with mankind waging war against each other in one way or another. Beneath the images of destruction, we sit locked in a seemingly endless and hopeless cycle of swiping, praying for the algorithm to connect us with the one. Keeping your faith and love through it all is no simple feat. For IU, though, there is always hope." She says, "Some call this an era of great loathing. Certainly, it doesn't seem like a time rampant with love. But from my experience, even in its moments of triumph, hatred is always alone. On the other hand, love is stubbornly together even as it runs, breaks, and fades away. Love definitely has a fighting chance." So this story is about those who strive to love to the very end in a world that hinders loving. The song is composed and arranged by Seo Dong-hwan, who people may know as the pianist from IU's Palette Band. This video is brought to you by you, our YouTube members and supporters on Patreon. Patreon and YouTube memberships are how viewers like you can support us and also gain access to exclusive content like extra reactions to both old and new K-pop songs, early access to every React to the K video, a weekly podcast, and then bring it in, and then, of course, I love all those slides, man. And a series where we rank every title track in an artist's discography every month.
Whoa!
If you want to become a patron or YouTube member to help our channel grow and to access over 1,000 exclusive videos, check out the description of this video for how to join. A huge thank you to all of you who already support us. We really couldn't do this without you. And now, back to the video. 3, 2, time to cry.
Times 2 cry.
Oh my
God!
cube.
That the cube from the Umbrella Academy?
That's terrifying. Just a cube.
Ooh, I like her lip ring.
Okay, they're safe.
Tay looks so pretty. My army side is popping up. Bangtan bombs.
Is there gonna be betrayal? Are they gonna betray each other? Ooh, the repeated C is really great. Oh, it's in 3.
5, 6.
Or 6/8 even. Yeah. Nothing's happened yet.
Whoa. She's like a flute, dude.
Ooh.
I love her airy tone.
So breathy.
Her haircut is so good.
I love it.
That's what I thought I was gonna get when I got my hair cut.
Feels like 1,000 years,
Oh.
right? That kind of 12/8 vibe.
Not trying to kill the vibe, but he's hot.
The crescendo. The cello.
Nice. Yeah, it is. It's very emotional.
Wait, they're signing.
Uh-huh.
Is it like A Quiet Place?
Oh, so cute.
It's so gummy. I love it.
You know, if there weren't lyrics to this, I would think this is like a worship song.
Wow. The Delulu Happy World.
What's going on? Oh. Wait.
What the f?
It's really pretty.
And the strings are so gorgeous.
Yeah, this is great. I just hope the last verse doesn't do something that like
Like a key change.
pushes it too far. No, key change would be great.
Now they're getting married.
Aw, so cute. What the hell?
And these guys are gonna die.
Really gorgeous production on this.
It's like they're just
Yeah.
painting it out for them to die at the end.
Okay.
This is making me kind of emotional.
Oh wow, it goes straight into the chorus. That's
It
great.
feels like she's running with the melody. Da 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 da. Da.
Yeah.
Ooh. I love the high notes. They have such good chemistry.
Oh, murder cube.
Oh no, the box is coming.
Not the box.
What just happened?
It's the monolith. Oh, excellent. Whoa, oh, it's gonna key change. No, it doesn't. Oh, it hints at it so well though. Oh, that was great. That was some great writing right there.
Beautiful piano.
That's not gonna stop the cube.
Oh no, he's gonna die.
Oh, maybe it will. Hold on.
You're so right. You're so right. But it works.
This is kind of gonna make me cry.
It's so pretty, her voice.
She's gonna sacrifice herself.
Oh wow. She's covering his good eye.
What is happening?
I'm so confused by what's gonna happen.
It's
Suck
abduction.
them up.
It's abduction.
So I was right. I'm always on the money.
What the hell? Oh, their clothes get added to the pile?
Oh my god!
I like how her delivery was also kind of like the breaths were broken up, so it also feels like she's also kind of out of breath, even though she totally is.
Wait, how does love win all if we all get sucked up by cubes in
They're
the end?
together.
That was so cinematic.
That was so sad.
It's great. Everything works. Wow. I'm such a fan of this.
This hit everything.
And her voice sounded so natural.
Oh my god,
And-
yeah.
yeah.
Like there's such a difference between her doing that leap in the chorus melody when it was a key, was it a whole?
With C major
Yeah, C
versus
major.
D flat.
And then when it goes up to
D flat.
so half a step,
Yes.
half a step higher. There's like it's a total color change
Yeah.
when she does when she reaches that, and it's just like a whole new level of feels.
But it really creates that. So we love strings in these ballads because I think there's this feeling of tugging at your heartstrings.
Yeah.
And I think the way the strings and the piano are
We're
mixed.
handled here.
Yeah, because piano has strings as well. But I feel like my heartstrings were tugged big time.
That seems like quite a simple progression.
Yeah, it's 1-4-5.
Literally the most.
Oh yeah, it's heart and soul.
Often
It's
used.
1-6-4-5.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was really pretty, but it was definitely the same progression as that other song.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like just like my inherent extra like layer of nostalgia is using a chord progression as common as that, and especially used in one that of a song that is of a similar vibe that's so popular.
Yeah, it is like they're very similar concepts too. Maybe it's just something about the progression, like it makes you sad.
And I feel like the simplicity is part of the charm. Because it's like in this world of complication, simplicity and love is what, prevails.
Yeah, well, I also think the chords were very carefully voiced, very carefully chosen. There's a lot of openness. There's a lot of open fifth quality. So like when you get a lot of this is the fifth, and you put a fifth over that, and you got a lot of that. And then you the tune. So first it's a C, and then when it goes into A, I think it becomes, the little bit of a dance comes out, and then But this
Like they're
keyboard sounds-
reminiscing of their first like
sure,
wedding
yeah.
dance, right?
Uh-huh.
And like the vocal melt is just so great.
But the instruments still stay at a really low volume, so the vocals are, it feels like an outcry almost.
And I liked how it was very raw. Like, I don't know, there was like some imperfections in the singing that stayed in, which I really appreciated actually. Because it's like, I don't know, I would not be singing perfect if I was singing about all this sad stuff.
Also, she was sick.
Really?
And she could hit those
could
high
hit those
notes.
notes.
Wow. What's the top note that she sings after they modulate?
I feel like it's probably G flat.
She sings it so well. It's so clear.
I think that's kind of nice. Sometimes like you get like a nice little vibe when you're sick, you know?
Yeah.
Are we watching the next video?
Yeah, let's do it. Just we don't have to watch the whole thing, but
Yeah.
just like
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, Ijiun TV. I caught the flu that day. It's so cute.
Yeah.
She's so vocalist.
Yeah, that was.
Maybe the sickness adds to her airy tone. She's a flute, seriously. I love how it's so intimate. It's so like close to you, very intimate setting. Like you need to not expend a lot of energy just to get this type of setting out. Hey, being sick definitely helped her, I'm not gonna lie.
아 이거 좋긴 좋은데 너무 이건 또 우렁차지 않아?
This is kind of.
This is so
I like
me.
it cut and she's in a new spot of set in the room.
This is so vocalist. Something known about how like your vocals are actually, it's a little bit easier to manipulate your chords when you're sick because everything is so inflamed that it's like you can really feel what's going on. I don't know if that's a myth, but honestly, like sometimes it's actually easier for me to sing when I'm sick.
what?
Is that interesting?
When you get a cold, where do you feel like it migrates to the most?
I can feel the resonation
More in your nose?
more in my nose, and sometimes that helps because you can kind of hear more where your sound is going towards.
I feel like the stuffy nose is kind of good because something about like all the pressure there, you can really like focus and send the sound into like this really nice pointed direction where it's like, dang, I've never been so aware of my face, but like it hurts so bad I can feel it so well.
Yeah, that's super true. And with this is a very vulnerable song, and I feel like it almost helps her in that
I think
way.
that's awesome.
It's like I'm getting chills listening to her mess up when it's actually like really vulnerable and
Pretty.
perfect for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. Like I said, it's like a worship feel.
Dude, oh my god.
Like I praise
Why
Jesus.
why this have praise Jesus vibes?
I don't know. Maybe it's the chord progression.
Yes.
It's like pretty simple.
I feel like it's the 12/8. I don't know, like I heard that a bunch from church music, and you know, church music is made for like inspiring people. Like 1,000 Years or like one of the Ed Sheeran songs also like this. I think it's probably perfect. But one of the Ed Sheeran songs is also 12/8, and that's also like very emotional and touching. So I really think it's the 12, like
Gives you a lot of momentum.
yeah.
So I guess like another way to put that is it feels hopeful.
Yeah. I guess it does feel hopeful, but it's not. Or I like the video doesn't portray it that way.
No.
If you just read the lyrics, it'd be pretty like wholesome and sweet.
I do think that brings up like a very interesting thing about like a lot of people associate majors happy, minors sad, but all of the saddest songs always are in major. And the reason is like there's a Sideways video about this. Just gotta give credit where credit's due. But he talks about what makes Disney movies like really sad is that Disney movies will, instead of just, you don't put your character's death scene in minor, because that's a very archaic way of portraying a death scene. If you really want your audience to cry or connect with a character, you establish a theme to associate with that character, and then you kind of exploit that association by just like playing that like really souped up and really kind of evocatively. And this does that very well as well. But it's a very happy sounding melody, but it's just sung so evocatively that it is very much like, yeah, it's really gorgeous. It's really, really, really gorgeous.
Also, you were mentioning like the spacious production, because we didn't have a ton of subdivisions in the percussion. It was just like 1 and 3, right?
Yeah. Well, I also just meant like the strings and like a lot of times they'll like add like the white noise, kind of like the latter half of the Vine boom sound effect.
Yeah.
The boom. Just to really bring home like this is something like important, I guess. It just gives it that gravitas.
So was it the music video that was getting to you, or was it a little bit of the music too?
It was both. That was just so sad.
Music video is amazing.
It is directed by a movie director who won like a bunch of awards.
Okay, no wonder, man. It's like so high quality.
And how'd the music support the
Yes.
story?
Yes.
Oh, it just yes. The
Yes.
music, yes. How does it yes?
I don't know. Like I feel like this music is just made for the music video. I don't know which comes first.
The song came first, I believe.
What?
Yeah.
I love how the director like contextualized the
Yeah.
music,
That's insane.
especially with like some of like the techniques that they did with like the coloring. When they were brought into like some really happier times, all of the colors were a lot warmer.
Yeah.
And it really felt like nostalgic. And then like when the danger came or things became more serious, it became like a lot colder, but the music still felt very, very warm.
Yeah.
So it brought a really cool sensation to listen to and watch.
Do you know anything about the cubes?
I do have a translation of an interview with the director for this music video. The director said the cubes represent the discrimination against the main characters and can also be interpreted to refer to various discriminations and oppressions that are prevalent in our daily lives. And the camcorder lens is the filter of love, the way IU and V see each other, and the happiness they imagine. So while in the real world, IU is mute or deaf and V is blind, but through the camcorder lens, things are viewed beyond external appearances.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Tis a little bit deeper than one may first interpret.
I think this is one of my favorite things you've ever had us react to, honestly.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes when in a world where there's so much being released, like so much at the same time, all the time, I feel like it's kind of hard to get a catchy melody. And I feel like this is one that has really stuck with me, and I really like that.
The artistic choices in this they really contribute to what she wants you to feel.
I wanted to say this is like a K-drama OST because of how, just like how much like breadth and emotional depth it has, I think. But I feel like it's art beyond that. And the music video, I also feel like told its own story so well.
And so how was the instrumental texture this time? You mentioned that you like the piano sound.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot warmer and darker. And
You were distracted by the music video, huh?
yeah, that's it.
This piano sound suits IU's voice so well, especially when she goes up and hits those higher notes.
Yeah.
She has such a gorgeous voice that it really like completed the song for me. It sounded great.
I liked at the end when she was really going into her head voice, because it just went into like the perfect sparkly place, while also still having like, it's not like there's a lot of air in her voice, but it added to that vulnerable feeling. Like a lot of air is escaping, but it made it twinkle almost.
I was kind of listening to the direction which the lines were going, because they all just kind of have a lot of them have this shape.
Yeah.
So they start from lower, they rise up, and then they come back down. And so those arrival points feel really satisfying because it's really high up in a range, and she sings them super clearly. Like each phrase is very satisfying.
True, especially since if you like look at it big picture, it's kind of like faster rhythms. And then she ends like all those like faster rhythms with like pauses. And so it feels like kind of like a little cute bow. Yeah, there was like a lot of dynamic in the vocal part. That's what I love about IU's ballads. Like, I don't know, and she doesn't wait to bring in the dynamics in the last chorus, because I feel like a lot of ballads just like hold off like the big swells to the end, but she does the big swells pretty immediately, like just into the first chorus. I
even
say.
feel like the last chorus was a bit more tender.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of flip-flopped.
That's how you get us. It's like keeping it tender in the end.
The key goes higher, but then you like, hold back a little bit.
I feel like the way that she led up through the pre-chorus and the instrumentals like slowly build with like the ascending strings and the like, there's moments of bass kind of sliding a little bit. It's just like the sound builds you from simple to big in a way that feels natural to your like human conscience, if that makes sense. And I think that's part of why this song is so masterful. I think it sounds really simple to say that, just like get the pacing right to like hit you in the feels, but I think that's where music is an art, and I think that song really nailed it.
I'm gonna go rewatch this 5 billion times. I'm so excited for our album. Ah!
Really nice airy lower octave vocal on there.
Ooh, what was that?
Also, by the way, the handsome guy, he's V from BTS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's a BTS member.
Dude, why does it always end with me thirsting over BTS members?
Every single time!